yo, you guys want to go skinfinitying? It's like skating, like with the SK8, except you turn the 8 on its side, so it's the infinity symbol, and that's supposed to symbolize like the limitless fun that we can have skating, just like with the bros and like as friends. And it's just something we're super passionate about, and it's just symbolism. So 2 rules to get into the underground skate ring racing course. Pick another identity that isn't just your own. You can't be known as the person you are on the outside world. The other rule is to not talk about the underground skate race course. Wait, shit! So SK8 the Infinity, quite literally spelled SK Infinity symbol, but just made SK8 the Infinity just for searching purposes, because otherwise it would be physically impossible to search for, is, you guessed it, a series about skateboarding. And it's already pretty niche because it's very limited on series that follow skateboarding, but this is a series that an anime original too, so there's a manga being actually adapted from the anime about downhill longboard skateboard racing, which just takes skateboarding alone. That already as a premise for this anime is niche, and then to just take it another layer further without like having something in the middle, it's just like, okay, like I'm down, this is super obscure, but I also am personally into longboarding more over skateboarding anyway, so this was super welcome. I didn't even know. It still has both skateboarding and longboarding in it, and does kind of break it down. It doesn't really explain it to you, they just kind of lot it all in as the same thing. So if you're not too familiar with a skateboarding scene, it's just gonna kind of throw it all into one like mixed bag and not really tell you, it's like, well, that doesn't work like that. But it's basically just a underground race course, that like a fight club that nobody can talk about, and has alter egos in a like tournament arc setting. That this whole one season that exists is basically just tournaments of people racing each other downhill on like a super dangerous mine shaft. And it's honestly, it's grounded enough in like the realism of what skateboarding is, and like moves and tricks and being flashy in different styles, but it also just blatantly, you have to know going in, it's an anime. So there is blatantly unrealistic things in this that are like, if you actually tried to do that, you're probably dead. Like, not like, oh, you'll probably get a couple scrapes, like, no, that's physically probably gonna kill you. And just like really wacky and ridiculous, almost like power move level stuff. There's no superheroes or powers or anything in this. There's just people with skateboards. So go into it knowing that it's like over the top and ridiculous, but not the entire time. So it's a little back and forth, but it's not long enough for it to really matter. It's a fun watch. It's over the top. The character designs in this, you will know each character when they're standing next to each other. You won't be getting people mixed up. It's super cool, especially like the alter ego like side. But it essentially follows 2 main characters that are kind of, they meet each other in school, and then they go to this underground ring. That one of them is super into skateboarding his entire life, and then the other one doesn't have any, like, he doesn't know anything about skateboarding, but he does have a familiarity that is revealed in the first episode that'll lead into him getting into skateboarding. And it's them going on this path of like learning how to get better, and just like how to inspire yourself and how to move past different obstacles to become better and not get held back by like the past, essentially. It's very like cliche almost in a way, but it's enjoyable in its own right. I will say it does follow like the main character it introduces in the beginning, but then it kind of sidelines, quite literally sidelines, the main character that it starts with for favor of the second character. So it's weird. It's hard to explain without watching it, but it definitely focuses a highlight on the second friend that comes in later as like the one that's like flashy and shows off, while the other one kind of lags behind and has to like kind of figure it out and goes through like the depression motions. So it was super interesting to see that, because you go in and basically the entire time are from the viewpoint of this character, watching someone else be the protagonist essentially. And I kind of enjoyed that, of not just walking into something and be like, I'm the hero, I'm here to win the tournament. It's watching someone else do it and being like, going through the trials and tribulations of being like, am I good enough? Like, someone else is already better than me, and like getting over that. It's super motivating, and I don't really know a lot of things that go with that perspective, so I was totally welcome to it. This series actually has like a surprising amount of skating tricks like that they do with the boards, considering that for the most part most people use longboards, which are unfortunately pretty limiting in the types of tricks you can do. Sure, there are some absolutely talented people that can pull off some ridiculous stuff with a longboard, but I think objectively speaking you could agree that a longboard is much harder to pull off a lot of stuff. What I do like is a lot of the characters in this series have like their own styles, just to show off the different ways people kind of ride skateboards and longboards. Most like known is like dancing on the board, which not like just like straight up dancing on it, but like walking the board and do like all these ridiculous movements and stuff to kind of show off like your talent and balance and just kind of like mastering the craft. And then each character kind of is known for their own gimmicks and stuff almost. Like one person uses an AI board that calculates the amount of time till a turn and when to pivot, while another person just fights dirty and throws punches and firecrackers, and other people just are more of a modder and like tweak the board to have like certain wheels on it that are good for certain instances, and some are just better at tricks or high flying. It's super interesting because nobody feels the same as the next, even though you'd think it's all just this one central theme. It has this diversity that's really fun, so when there is a certain person on screen, you're like, you know what their style is, and it's interesting. And if you don't know what their style is, you're probably about to find out, and that's super interesting. Now, something you probably should know going into the series is it is surprisingly like it honestly borders a boy's love hard. Like, it doesn't cross that line, so you could not officially say that this is, but there's like a thin line that it's just like rubbing right up against the entire time. Between the two main characters, I swear to God, the entire time, no joke, I was just like, just kiss. Like, they're gonna do it. Like, I thought it was coming at any point, which it literally got to the point where it's almost like is it not gonna happen? Like, it's legitimately like, it's borderline boys love, full on. It doesn't even like try to hide that vibe. It's just, it got entertaining just for the point of it dodging it the entire time, because I swear to God they did it on purpose, where there would be instances where you're like, here it comes, here's the scene. But yeah, so just know that going into it. It doesn't ruin it. It's quite literally just like the bros, except like we're real close bros. It's two friends chilling in a hot tub 2 feet apart because they're a little gay, but it's just entertaining. I can't knock it for it. I actually kind of enjoyed it even more because of that. It was just funny because it's just like, just commit, just do it, don't dance around it. It was just like tiptoeing around it and it's just waiting for it. So yeah, you've been warned. The animation in this series, what can I say? It looks good. It looks pretty. There's a lot of scenes that's just like, that looked good. There's really not much else to put past that. They put the Sakuga to work, and the budget all goes into a bunch of the confrontations, especially the races, of just like this super downhill, just fast-paced animation. Loved every bit of that. That's super nice to look at. The music? Oh, the music bops. The opening, immediately into a playlist. No way around it. The outro ending, also in a playlist. Both of them are phenomenal. I really like just those two songs. But then the music throughout the entire series, they have like a lot of vocalized songs, which I feel like it's becoming more common in a lot of series. I noticed a lot, like a few series are doing it a lot more. I might just not have seen ones that did it, but I've become more like hyper aware of it at this point. There's a lot of like non-instrumental, just like vocal songs, and then there's a bunch of just like banger, just OSTs all over this. I swear to God, this whole soundtrack just slaps. There is just such a range too, where it's like if you don't like certain songs, you'll like another one for sure. It has that variation of just like classical and jazz to just like punk rock and just like hip hop music. I really enjoyed it. It made me want to like boot up a game of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and then just like throw on my iPod, put some headphones in and throw down the skateboard and just like listen to the early 2000s like punk rock and hip hop. It just had that vibe, and it was nostalgic for something that I just haven't thought about in a long time. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it. That way when I look at the numbers of people that did like this video, it validates my poser ass. Stare just hypnotizingly into the subscription button until it turns gray, and then just make sure it stays that way. Another way to validate my ass. But just know I'm on the other side. When I see the number tick up, I'm like, yes, yes. Let's go. If you have watched this series, comment below, let me know if you have seen it and what you thought of it. Is it just kind of cliche and just kind of meh, or is it like your new favorite series? I don't know if I could say it's like gonna be anybody's like turning point in their life, but it's pretty enjoyable. Otherwise, that's all I really have to talk about for today. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!